Electric cars are undoubtedly the future of motoring. But what should an electric car be in order to compete with internal combustion cars? And is the Kia E-Niro such a car? Hello from Auto Start Test and welcome to our test of the all-new Kia E-Niro. I received the test car with a range of 245 miles and a battery that was charged to 97%. Yes, I know Kia promises a range of 282 miles, but do not worry. It's very easy to get a result that's over 300 miles or more, but more about that in the next few minutes. The silhouette and interior of the E-Niro is not too different from the hybrid version. The main difference is the lack of grille at the front and fuel filler on the side. There is a charging socket on the front of the car, and the E-Niro silhouette does not stand out anything special compared to other cars, but it's a huge advantage for this electric car. Interior changes were mainly due to the central tunnel, which looks very modern. The central knob is used to change the direction of travel, in this case reverse, neutral, drive, and that's it. E-Niro also offers 3 driving modes, but more about that in a moment. The dashboard looks like the Niro Hybrid, a legible multimedia system display, the next button panel for radio and navigation, and below the control panels for air conditioning and air vents. It is worth noting that the E-Niro offers the most efficient air conditioning system from all the cars I have ever tested. A little lower you will find an inductive charger for a phone and a 12-volt socket and 2 of the 3 USB sockets. Then a huge storage or a shelf for lots of trinkets and much more. In the clipboard on the front of the passenger, you can find the traditional Kia Bible and some space. I'm glad that channels such as Car Wow copy my name calling of the Kia manuals as Kia Bible like I do, and have done for years. I hope they also subscribe to my channel. Time to move on. The first thing we have to do is start the vehicle, and then choose the drive position, and that's it. There are 3 driving modes to choose from: Eco, Normal, and Sport. But choosing each one, the range doesn't really change that much, so don't worry too much. The power of 200 horsepower is waiting for us at the first touch of the accelerator pedal, and that means we leave the other cars behind us when that red light turns green. The time to 30 miles an hour is just 2.5 seconds. The link to our acceleration test is in the description under the video. While driving an electric car, we hear a specific sound. Of course, you can turn this off in the city and enjoy perfect silence. Driving the E-Niro, we do not miss anything. We have a large range of very comfortable seats covered with leather, which means this car is probably not a good choice for a vegan. Just a joke, of course. The car has very comfortable headrests with a large adjustment for both vertical and horizontal. The seat is also electrically adjustable, but unfortunately the passenger seat is only manual adjustment, at least in this model. The armrest is very wide but not very soft, and the one on the back is definitely more comfortable. Under the armrest we have a large storage compartment and an additional USB socket. A quick depth test, and the test is passed positively. Also, we cannot complain about the amount of space, both above your head and around your knees. We have also a large range of steering wheel adjustment. At 6.3 feet, I had the problem of sitting down behind the seat in the driving position. If the driver's seat was set up a little bit higher, I would not have this problem with a place for my feet and knees. Now let's get back to driving. Kia promises a 282-mile coverage on a single charge. Of course, several conditions must be met to allow such a range to be possible, and with little experience you can successfully travel up to 350 miles. How to do it? Well, Kia offers an excellent energy recovery system. Moving into towns, and especially mixed cycle town and country roads, we are able to recover up to 40% of the energy used, and sometimes even more. Of course, we have to learn how to properly use this system in order to recover as much kinetic energy as possible that feeds our batteries. We have at our disposal 2 steering wheel pads, similar to those in which the gears in the cars change. On the left side, we raise the level of recuperation, and on the right, we lower it. Nevertheless, we must learn when and how to use this system, because in some situations, it would be better to use the brake. All of this works very intuitively, and you can understand what's going on during your first trip. For example, covering a distance of 12 miles, I only used 6 miles of energy. The remaining 6 I regained while driving. Another time, I drive 6 miles from 241 miles to another charging, and then after reaching the destination, I still had 241 miles for the next charge because I recovered every single mile that I had used. So, skillfully using the capabilities of this car, we are often able to recover each of the miles that we have used. Of course, this is mainly on short distances. And what is the use of energy in the E-Niro? Take a look at the routes I've traveled. Energy consumption varies from 3.6 miles to 1 kilowatt per hour to 4.5 kilowatt per hour. And only because, in most cases, the car was run on a very sparing way to check the maximum energy consumption. Let's look quickly in the boot. The boot is quite roomy, but more importantly is what's under the floor of the luggage compartment. We find cables for charging the E-Niro with a 6 kilowatt charger and the charging cable for a household socket or in the garage. Looking at the time of loading the E-Niro chargers of different power, well, a large capacity battery needs a lot of time to charge, but it's still very good. So, does the E-Niro have any defects? Personally, I found 2. This is the reaction to acceleration after you start to move with the economy mode. Sometimes a gentle delay occurs. It is not a delay like most diesel engines, but a very delicate and I would say half-second, very rare delay. Another disadvantage is how the brakes work. Usually, the final stage of braking is a bit like braking with a strong ABS on wet surfaces in a transverse, very fine obstacles. I think I'm the only one who really paid attention to it, and the blame for it is the perfect energy recovery system. It's not really a flaw, but a typical brake action that you just have to get used to. If you use this car every day, you probably won't even feel it. I try to catch all the advantages and disadvantages of the cars that I test, and maybe I'm too responsive to this kind of thing, but at least I'm one of the few honest testers on YouTube. Let's take a look at the main docks. The left one informs us mainly about the range that we can have on the battery, and the one on the right is the speedometer. Between them, the onboard computer. Take a look at one of the routes I did after picking up the car. The distance was 18.6 miles, energy consumption was 3.6 miles per kilowatts per hour, and 51 minutes of time. The route was mainly in towns, but 30% was in country roads. 93% economic driving, 5% normal, and 2% dynamic. In addition, in the main menu, we can check how economic we are. That is, if our E-Niro was an internal combustion car, what amount of pollution would be hitting the atmosphere while we drive. In our case, we are 100% eco-friendly. Kia E-Niro is an electric car for which we've all been waiting for. There is still the question of price, and I'll sum it up this way: the more you drive, the more you'll save. But if you like hybrid cars, don't forget about the Niro Hybrid and the Hybrid Plug-In model. A link to this review is in the description. Let me know in the comments below what you think about the new Kia E-Niro, and do not forget to subscribe to my channel and visit my website, autostarttest.com. Time to say goodbye, take care of yourselves and your 4 wheels. See you next time.